Strength isn't loud. Strength is within. Are you afraid? Audiobook by Chandler Ferguson.
Listen to the wind. Where do I begin as I watch life take place? Another day, another test for a possible opportunity, like the key to unlock everything that was inside of me. I hope my story can persuade. There are so many paths that we can take, but there are only a few paths that we choose to take in order to better ourselves.
My name is Chandler Ferguson.
I was born on October 13th, 1994, in Greenville, Texas, on a Thursday around 10:30 a.m. Yeah, no, I thought Friday the 13th was going to be the day I was born on, but no, it was Thursday the 13th I was born on instead. Going forward, I am the middle child of three from my mom and dad, Curtis Darrell Ferguson and Anita Ann James Ferguson. So just to be honest, being the middle child, I kind of always felt like I was out of place or that I didn't fit in. Growing up, I felt like I wasn't the best to look at or that I wasn't so handsome or good looking because I was exposed at an early age that I had supposedly a big head, you know? And as a young lad, I was considered a son who looked just like his father. I could have been a junior, but I wasn't. Instead, I was my dad's twin. And you know what that means. I look just like my dad, from head to toe, in so many ways for more. I did have a big head. And I had a big brother who was pretty darn good looking and the cool one. And the little brother was the baby. So in that sense, I was always, battling self and insecurities and just questioning myself like, why am I here? Why am I existing? You know? While in my younger years, I had to deal with bullying a lot, day in and day out. But my dad was well known in the community for his artwork and his involvement with the inner city youth. Overall, my dad was an amazing individual to know as a person and as a great role model to have in your life. With that being said, there was already some big shoes I had to fill and make because of the great example my father had in place for me to become greater than. And with bullying, it definitely molded me to become stronger, wiser, and just made to last for anything, you know? I believe that just about everyone has went through some type of ridicule, embarrassment, and plain humiliation in life. We are either going to break and fall, or we're going to endure and make our situation better. So, in my younger years, bullying was really something that really got to me, and due to the fact of my enlarged cranium, I had a big head, large head, and people did not care to tell me about it everywhere I went and walked. From my peers to even my family. You know, I was talked about consistently from names like headquarters, football head, 5 head instead of 4 head, and so on and so far. People would gather around to make me feel so little as a person. It was not the best feeling in the world, but I dealt with it, and I endured through it. You know? So, young and dealing with that type of attention can be very detrimental and confusing. The reason being is because, why did this happen to me? What did I do to deserve this much attention and plain out humiliation and embarrassment? Dealing with that much attention made me into a more angry little person. Every single day, a big head there or that. I wanted to kill myself. I literally wanted to end my life because I didn't see my worth. I remember being inside of that bathtub with the radio on to end my life because I just couldn't take it anymore. The embarrassment, the plain out humiliation. I saw no worth of myself. Little blue radio, and I wanted to throw everything away, but I didn't. And the only thing that stopped me was my man's word of I had to represent and that I'm better than that. And if y'all don't know who Ma'am is my grandmother, and that's what everybody calls her in the family. Those words gave me a little bit of strength, and I cleaned myself up and got out of the tub and didn't look back. It's amazing what words can do for yourself. Words are very powerful, and they can either break us or make us into something that will never break. I decided that my life was meant for more, and that my destiny was greater than I can ever imagine. No matter what you go through, you can overcome, but you have to live it. You have to say it, and in order to believe it. The vision means thriving and surviving for something that's in front of us and mean to be. Everything does happen for a reason, be it good or bad. You will be able to see it because you're on a journey. Deny the negative things in your life and use the positive things in your life to climb up the ladder to fly above the mediocrity. But as we continue to go further, I was only in 3rd grade. As a little kid, I did rebel a lot, but also fell in love with writing and wasn't afraid to be outspoken. Going back to whose Ma'am is, everybody pretty much called her Ma'am. She gave me strength. Ma'am was always telling me to represent and to not let those harsh, painful words of, expression to get to me. She saw greatness inside of me. She saw potential that I could not see inside of myself. The tools she showed me I could use for my defense was that I am beautiful, I am smart, I am intelligent, and I shouldn't allow me to feel less than that because I am not those things people tried to embed inside of me. I was taught to use my wit, my power, my greatness against those negative minds and negative attitudes. So even though my head may have been bigger or looked bigger, you can bet I did have a lot of brains inside of them. And who are you to say I am not? A bigger head meant bigger brains, and that motivated me to become stronger, to embrace change when hate wanted to bury me inside of shame. Even though I was going through this humiliated time, I could see the light. But there were some dark places I wanted to go. Some places that dragged me into trying to take my own life. That's how life went. But it got better. Starting all the way from preschool and private school, from school photos, thinking I look good. People denied me that happiness. And being a kid, I submitted to that norm, that way of seeing myself. You're ugly. You have a big head. Those words, oh my freaking gosh, trying to swallow that pill as a kid. It's so confusing. And just plain out belittling. I truly had to deal with that a lot, but time got better. And I developed character traits and attributes to prepare me for years to come. When I think about the trauma I had to endure, I would ask myself, what was so special about me? Why did I have to be picked on every single day, every morning, every afternoon, every evening, I would play the victim, even though I was truly the victim and had every right to be. But something had to give. I had to find my power. I had to be better because no, I couldn't just sit in my own misery. Because knowing what I know now, that would have only made me into a floor mat, like I was. So I commend my family for helping me gain confidence and realize I was worth more. I was capable of being my own conqueror of my fears, tears, and understanding what was so dear. And what was so dear was me. I was fortunate to have a 2-parent household. And even though I was the middle child, I had a great qualities about me. The second born, middle child I was, my dad's twin. Even though I wasn't a junior, I looked just like him. I knew I was on the go and had flow to show people so much more. As I said once before, my dad was known in the society and with a lot of talent, especially in the arts. People looked up to my father, just like I did, because he was an educator as well as an artist. Anything you could think of my dad, he could draw, he could paint in. I don't know, the way he talked, because he inspired and motivated people. He was the one who truly got me into the arts. I never thought I would be good at something until I got into acting. And acting was like my true home because it was a safe haven. And my mom she definitely gave me a sense of individuality, because she believed in me in terms of every time I wanted to go to an audition, like, she was there. My mom was like, no, we can definitely try it out. We can definitely test it out. Let's go to this audition. When is it? Where is it? And she just so a beautiful spirit, kind person. Let me get away with murder. Like, literally, no, I'm just playing. But she definitely did not play no games when it came to her children. My mom, I love my mom. I'm a mom's boy and a daddy's boy. And she knew I was very talented, came to all my auditions, allowed me to go to auditions. And acting was one of those things that just gave me a sense of belonging, you know? It gave me a reason to be, because it allowed me to be something that I wasn't, and allow people to believe it, because I wasn't truly, I guess, fond or loved myself like I should have. And so acting gave me that opportunity, that stage to really become a totally different person and put my emotions into things that I was feeling into that character. You know, a slice of pie is like a brand new day of life, wondering why we can't touch the sky. A woman's strength is like a history's miss, surrounding the earth with a protective hiss. So many moments we don't want to forget, giving a laugh like a forever's kiss. You are strong, don't you forget. Control your mind. This is your time. All you have to do is apply. It's such a beautiful day with so many things to say, and it's not even the first day of May. Can you all say hey? Life is about possibilities and dreams. Where are the wild things? All you have to do is open your eyes and see, singing along like a dashing hummingbee of bird, if you prefer. Don't forget to stir the pot of sure, retiring the levels of downward bedevils. The weather is like a feather. Traveling there are no nevers. It changes with the breeze inside a buzzing bee. We want to be free. It's so hard to catch everything. Why not live life? Soon you can take flight. And trusting inside, like a warm slice of pie, maybe an apple or pumpkin pie. I have to realize that writing is my life, and it's something that gives a little bit of hope instead of moping inside like a bar of soap. I'm so grateful to know that the arts is something that gives me a way to be put in my comfort zone. Truthfully, I always wanted to be part of the arts. I can just remember when I was in the first grade, I used to write little short stories and expand my mind with fantasy themes. Like, this one time I wrote a story called The Glass House, and it was about this warlock named Jakanama, and he lived in a house at the top of this hill and was awaiting for the chosen one to give his powers to. But the more I realized, the more I knew that writing is my safe haven or my safe zone. Even though I dealt with bullying, knowing who I am and making the efforts works for me. Applying myself and participating gives me a sense of confidence and a sense of self. Being in rehab are allowing me to release emotions and be free and true to who I am. I would have to say the third grade was when I gained my own ego because my dad got me involved into acting. And that was probably one of my most traumatic and exciting years of my life who shaped me of who I am today and going forward. My first role in the acting world was a Munchkin and The Wiz at the high school my dad taught at. It was so exciting because I was an elementary student performing in a high school performance. Sinking low, you feel like you're melting inside through the flow, like you're beneath the floor. The past sometimes blocks us like piercing tower embedded inside a stove. Fire burns either to create or decapitate. Find your fate for your future's sake. Drifting in memories can give us fears and have so many tears. Tell me truth of what's truly dear, of forgetting tomorrow's fear. Words are powerful, like a heavy wind. Believing things that don't have peace create negativity. Do you see what you can truly be? Full of life, divine belief, and brutal honesty. You are and do have majesty, that spirit inside and full of glee. Do you see that honesty that's trapped inside of thee? Be free, live your life like a gliding beginning. Another day, another way, trying to find any place for today, which is the right way you may say. I dream of perfect harmony, allowing the truth to brew within me. Don't you blink like a work after hot tea. Face the focus and the faults, or you might end up last in the sauce like a never-ending shout. Me being able to perform in a high school production was amazing because this was an opportunity for me to show my talents for me and towards my classmates who were about to see me performing for the first time. The crave that lurks is similar to the grave if you try to save that drug, that addiction that was trying to misbehave. It's like poison, slowly oozing and searching to prick an itch that was trying to get between your stitch and make your glitch beyond your pitch that was mean to miss that unbearable dish.